right, this is the Oklahoma game. I'm sorry it's getting out a little bit late. We had a family trip that took us out of town, and I tried to take all my stuff and work on it a little bit here or there, but I'm finishing it up today after Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, spending it with friends and family. This is the last one for BYU of the regular season. I hope that they can do some good things this week against Oklahoma State. I know since I'm putting this out a little bit late, maybe not as many people will get a chance to watch it, but for those that do watch it, I hope you enjoy the way that we broke down some of these plays and talked through some of them. I know that was a tough one for BYU because they were so close for so much of the game, but they really did do a lot of really good things this game, and I hope that they can build on that as they go into this week against Oklahoma State.
All right, here we go. Let's get it started. It's the Oklahoma game. I know this was a tough one because it was so close at times. Felt like it was right there in BYU's hands. They did a lot of good things this game. It was great to see the run game really take off. I thought there were some good plays made throughout the game. Obviously, when you're down by the goal line and you don't punch it in and you give them 7 points, that really is a backbreaker in the game. But let's take a look at some of the plays. Let's start out with this first drive. This was great to see a run like this to start the game. I know these have been few and far between, it feels like, this season, but it was great to see this one start out. So let's talk about what it is. You're going to see this motion, and he's going to hit it on the move. Now, his responsibility is going to be end man on the line of scrimmage. So what you're going to get is you're going to get all these down blocks. What this is this is a counter, but it's using the two people off of the ball. So there's no guard that's pulling. There's no guy that's a guard that's kicking, and then someone else is pulling. You basically have the two people. That's going to be the person involved in the kick, and this is going to be the puller that's going to get up into the second level. But what happens here is, as you can see, they hit it on the run. So right here, he's going to go to the first man on the line of scrimmage. He's going to be the one that pulls up for the linebacker, and everybody else is going to block down here. And then what they do is when they leave the end man on the line of scrimmage, there you can see contact should be made there. And then because this linebacker filled, so what I mean by that is this linebacker here, because he filled quickly, you're going to see this block happening right there, right at the line of scrimmage as well. So you're basically getting two contacts right at the line of scrimmage, but because of these down blocks, you can see these blocks right here, it's going to open up a gap. And that's where our running back slips through. Now, this is where we do a really good job. We do a really good job of getting to the second level. If you go back to the beginning, on these down blocks, the tackle should be able to go there, so the guard should be able to get up to the second level. Center should be able to handle that. They're going to work from a down to somebody getting up to that next level. And so watch what happens right there. You can see him work down. He goes to that level. There's your center. There's your guard. There's your tackle. That's everybody working up. Now, they rotate into the boundary. This is great. Our wide receiver can go get him. Now you can see we have blocks. Now, one thing that's unique right here, and I don't think this was planned, is he slips him. And I don't know why there's a slip right there, because as you can see, he's slipping to who? There's nobody in that space right here. So we actually got a little bit lucky that as he slipped him, that this linebacker was filling into that space. I'm going to use a different color arrow, that the linebacker was filling there and contact is made there. Because that means now the running back can get inside of that block, and that defensive player that we slipped has to run around that. See how he has to run around it? Because he runs around it, and man, somehow we get a body on there and we work to that guy. That's usually not what happens. You see how he finishes? He's almost taking the other player's guy. And that's why this guy is out in space. The only thing I can think of why this looked like this is the read, where they're blocking down, and then these people have an opportunity to get out in front for the quarterback. That's the only thing I can think. But usually you wrong arm that, meaning he should go this way, and that would be the person that we're reading. Wrong arm means you're going to go with your right arm, not your left arm that takes you to get your hat inside. When I mean hat, I mean helmet, closer to the line of scrimmage. That would be turning that way. So you go this way. You take your hat away from the line of scrimmage. You wrong arm him to get around him. And if the read happens and you pull it, now you got a lead blocker. So a little bit unique what happened right here, but we still get through the gap of the handoff and we get off to this big, big run. All right, here we go. Another solid play from this first quarter. So these are some of the plays that you see BYU use in this game a lot with Jake at quarterback. And so what you have here is you can see the entire offensive line is going to work this direction, all right? So this is a zone read. He's going to be reading this end man on the line of scrimmage, whoever comes off this edge. So the first decision that he has to make is, does this player come down hard? If he does, I can do what I do here, and I pull it. Or if this player settles and there is a gap, meaning if our tackle takes his guy down and I see green grass between the defender that is the end man on the line of scrimmage and that tackle, if that player does not chew up that space, I am now going to give. I'm going to give that zone run. If this player comes upfield at me, the quarterback, I give the run. So the first decision he makes is, do I give the inside zone or do I keep it? Once he makes his decision, which here is a keep, it then becomes now the second part. If there is another defender that shows up, is he upfield chasing the swing? If so, I keep it. Does he attack me? If he attacks me, I throw the swing. Now, you can see this edge person that we have here. He's going to widen. If he were to widen and this player didn't widen with him, okay, let's say that their player started to shuffle down. That player comes off the edge, which would make the quarterback not give the inside zone. It would make him keep it. If there is another player sitting there, now our player is going to be working to somebody else that should be over here. So there's a lot of different looks that the defense can give, but the decision starts with end man on the line of scrimmage. I'm making that read. Once I make that read, it's then either I can keep it or I can throw it out here to this swing that then is going to have a lead blocker. And so here you see Jake keeps it. There's nobody in front of him. Right move, good little burst, first down. All right, 3rd and 3. We have another one of these inside zone options with a swing. He takes the swing right here, and we get a really good gain. Cody making some people miss. We'll go back to the beginning of it. We'll talk about the same thing. So they use this kind of, some people call it like an orbit return motion. See, the San Francisco 49ers kind of a few years back started it. A lot of other people copied it. And I'm not saying that they were the ones that invented it. A lot of people doing this where you work behind the quarterback. But what happens right here is this is the first read. Now, this first read right here could have been a give. As you can see, there is nobody off the end of the line of scrimmage that's making him pull this. Okay, the tackle is stepping down. And part of it is because they're in a 3-down look. Okay, right here. And yes, they have a backer on the line here, but I'm talking about personnel. D lineman, D lineman, D lineman, right? And then here you have linebacker, 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 nickel, right? So they're in a 3-4 personnel grouping here. And so the thing is at this read juncture right here, he's got to make the decision when that defensive end or D tackle in a 3-down scheme, when he steps down and the offensive tackle takes him and there's nobody there, this could be a give. The other reason why this could be a give is if he sees 2 off the edge, a lot of the times that's an automatic give. Now, here's why this actually works out kind of well is because when he pulls it and they have 2 off the edge, they now, look, we don't even have anybody to block right here. Because they brought 2 off that edge, we actually went right into a pressure look of theirs. Now, I'm not sure if it's a called pressure or if they're just reading this and reacting. Because if this was a design pressure, what you should see is you should see him working to the middle, him working down. So I don't know if this was designed in terms of on the snap of the ball, we want you guys coming. But I think these guys are trying to communicate something right here. Look, watch where this player's head is when the ball is snapped. I think they're trying to figure out who's what. My guess is one of them was supposed to come and the other one wasn't. But it was a miscommunication. Somehow in that miscommunication, both of them came. That's also why you don't have this safety coming down over the top. And it actually works in BYU's favor. We got 2 guys committing to the quarterback right here. And when the ball's caught out on the edge, we have somebody for the corner and somebody for the safety. Oklahoma's in trouble right here. Now, if it would have helped if we didn't run into the back of our own guy. But look, it's football. Cody does a good job of getting up, making something happen, and we get a bunch of yards. So the play worked out scheme-wise. I bet when they sit down in the meeting, they talk through it of, hey, that probably could have been a give, We don't know exactly what the defense was doing, bringing 2 off the edge there, but it worked out really well for BYU. All right, 4th and 1. Big time call here to go for it. Great job of not only getting the first down, but getting a touchdown right here. This is a play that BYU's used a lot. Never usually works out like this, and we'll talk about it. So what this is right here is they're going to use this quick motion, and you're going to get a back out here on this swing. What you're getting for the receivers is you're getting an out route, and then you've seen this a number of times. We've gone over it. It's this mesh concept. They're going to get there a lot of different ways. But what it's doing is it's basically creating an out, which you can take right now, or it's going to be this inside triangle. Can you see that triangle right there? It's basically the over and the 2 shallow routes that are going to settle versus zone, and then they'll stay on the move versus man. Now, you can pull, because of this wide route right here, you can expand one of the flat defenders. Now, this is unique, though, because of what Oklahoma does right here. They play half to that side. They play cloud. So my guess is that what it was is when they had this motion happening, on this motion, he's going to react to the motion. He plays half over the top. Either they called it pre-snap, or this was something that, not pre-snap, but as soon as that motion happened, see these 2 guys right here? For all we know, if the back stays on that side, they can rotate like that, get into a single high look. But as soon as this running back comes here and makes 4 to a side, 1, 2, 3, 4, this may have been a little game plan thing that they did where now the corner steps up, safety goes over the top. So here's the unique thing, is that the out route stayed on, and Jake threw the out route almost like into this hole shot area. So we'll watch as it develops. He goes inside of the corner. A lot of the times when you get half, meaning cover 2, a cloud corner and a half safety over here, you're off the out route. You're saying, I'm off of it. And I'm going to come inside and I'm going to work this mesh. They got a flat defender here. They're playing over the top, but the way this works out, because this corner jumps it so hard, look where he's at. He's almost on the first down marker. He is on the first down marker. It leaves this space here. So here's the interesting thing too, where Jake, as I kind of watched his eyes, I wondered where his eyes went. Did they stay on him the whole time? Is that why he's hanging on it? Normally this out route is going to be thrown here to the sideline, meaning he's going to run, he's going to catch this to the sideline. Jake slows him up. Now, the other thing that I don't know is this was a little bit of like just really good feel by Chase, feeling like, well, I can't break flat right there because I know there's somebody underneath me. So I'm going to buy a little space, because if you watch where he starts to break, see this right here? This speed out usually is broken pretty flat right there. But watch where he's going to end up. He's going to give ground. He's all the way here. So either it's something that they practiced. If you get cloud, you have to get this type of depth. Or this was on Chase of feeling, I can't run that out, so I'm going to buy some space. And then a really well-thrown ball because he didn't take him to the sideline. If Jake took him to the sideline, this player would keep drifting there and be able to make a play on it. Now, you can say this, well, if he sinks there, ball can go there for the first down. That's absolutely correct. It for sure can. But this was a trust throw. He felt like his guy was going to fill that same pocket. Really good job making people miss, getting in the end zone. So I'm going to use the word unorthodox way of executing that play. Usually on this speed out mesh concept, when you get cloud to this side, this is not usually where it goes. Again, maybe this is something that they worked on, saying get a little bit more depth. We can throw that hole shot, or these guys right here, or they just made a play on game day. Wherever it was, they did a really good job because this was a big play in the game to get it even 7-7. All right, I know it sucks to go over plays like this. It sucks as a player, sucks as a coach. But when you got to go through these plays, you have to learn from it. I'm doing this because everybody can see what was being set up. So you see a lot of teams copied San Francisco again in this short motion. He's going to turn around, and they're setting up this reverse. So everything here is being built off of what looks like this zone action. And then here comes the reverse out here on the back end. So it's that same motion that looks like you're going to hit it on the run right here. So what you do is you look like you're going to hit it on the run. Watch the line move. If you have gap sound defenses that are going to stay with their gaps, you're going to get the defense flowing in that direction, especially with the sell of this short motion. So when he turns around and wheels it up, you have a great job of potentially catching everybody over here, and here comes this reverse. So I like the play call, 1st and 10. You can see we have decent movement right here. Decent movement. If this ball is tossed here, he's going to be able to outrun him. But unfortunately, something happens on this fake where as he's trying to pull it to flip it, the ball just can't come off of his hip or gets bumped somehow, ends up being a big turnover. In a game where it's 7-7, we got the ball driving on our, their side of the field. This could have been a big, big play. I like the creativity in the play design. Again, you can see right here, watch this running back. As he fakes through here, he's going to try to seal here. Isaac's going to seal here. You're going to beat this guy with speed, and it's off to the races. So, man, unfortunate event right here. Giving them the ball now back could have been a big play potentially.
Here we go. This is a nice little 3rd down pickup right here. 3rd and 3, easy out route, breaks a tackle, gets upfield. Let's talk about why that was so easy. So if you go back to the beginning of the play, they're going to start out in this trip set, and then Cody's going to motion down inside. And what that does is you'll see the off defender, the person that was the off defender outside, when Cody motions down like this, he's going to stay off and motion down. And then so what you did was you just dialed up to have the press on the outside receiver, and then the guy that's running your choice route that went in motion now has softer coverage here. And so what you're going to get is you're going to get this go route. You're going to get a through seam right here. You're going to get like an in or an under. And then you've created all of this space right here for this option route to win. Now, a lot of the times, this through seam as it runs through right here, let's say they're in man with a funnel player. That funnel player is the guy that's going to be right here on the inside, and he will be impacted by that through route. So what you're doing is you're keeping him at bay so that he can't just sprint out to help out immediately on a choice route. And if he blitzes, and then this person has the running back, now there's nobody on the inside. And so you've really created a great choice that he can go in or out. But as you see coming off the ball, you'll see the man coverage, okay? I'm just going to dial it up. There, we're locked up right there, locked up there, locked up here. He's on the running back. There's your free safety getting to the middle of the field. And then now you can see this player right here. That's that hole player who's going to be just playing inside, and he's going to be helping out. See how he's reading the quarterback's eyes? So it's man everywhere, and he is, you hear me say rat player or hole player, just reading the quarterback's eyes playing zone. But look what you did. The motion created, see how soft this coverage is right here? You've created space. And this is an easy win on the out route right here. So now it's just a matter of pitch and catch. You look at that space that's created right there on 3rd down. That's hard to create open space like that on 3rd down. So they utilized a motion. The motion man is going to be softer. He's softer. He comes down inside. Easy pickup right here on 3rd down. And then, this is a key. Then he breaks the tackle right here, gets upfield. When you play against man coverage teams and you can make that player guarding you miss, however it is, now somebody else either has to run away from their man coverage because their eyes aren't at what's happening. Or you have, if I go all the way back, there's that rat player. These two people are going to be reading the quarterback's eyes. So oftentimes it's those guys that have to be making the tackle. And as you can see right here, it's going to be 11 and 12, the guys that have to make the tackle. Now, if you're a defensive coach, you are screaming at this guy when you watch tape, okay? Because look right here. He thinks his teammate's going to make the tackle, and then he thinks that this guy's going to make the tackle. And watch this effort right here. See that jogging right there like that? Defensive coaches get so mad at that type of stuff right there because that's just giving the other team yards. Here we go, 2nd and 7. You're going to see this little orbit return motion, play pass, and it's going to be a good pickup right here. A nice pocket movement by Jake. And funny thing is when you watch this play be made right here, I'm not sure if on the TV copy you're able to see all of it, but how that ball goes down and he connects and collects it between his legs right there. So I want to go back to the play scheme, all right? What you're getting here is you're going to get what looks like this orbit motion behind the quarterback. He's going to run out to the swing. This is your flat control. This is in play pass. This is going to be your outlet, all right? And so they're utilizing a protection here that is going to end up being a 7-man protection. What that means is you have your 5 offensive linemen, you have your tight end, and you have your back, all right? This receiver here, like I said, he's going to end up being the outlet. Over here, Teams call this a lock route, a pin route, a needle route. He's basically going to push up inside the hash. It varies between teams, but usually between 16 to 20 yards. On the back side of that, you can either have a mirrored pin or lock route or what's called a field post. And now you can't see everything right here, but as the play develops, you're going to see that they get this half safety over the top. All right. This safety to this side, he comes down in the box and reacts to the play action pass. And what that does right here, if you'll notice, I'm going to back it up a little bit more. This corner, okay, he's going to get depth here. He's going to play like it's deep quarters or deep thirds. You have a half guy here. Now you see the Rams, the Packers, you see the 49ers, you see a lot of teams that are off the Shanahan tree in the NFL. They run a lot of this concept. And what it is he's going to run this lock route, and this person's going to run a field post, which means he's running over the top of it. Now, BYU's not running that here, but I'm just kind of showing in terms of what could be done. As soon as he outside releases right there, you know he's not trying to win inside and get to the other side of the field. So to me, I think what they're doing here is this is all front side, meaning this is the side where the read starts and Jake is staying there. So little interesting thing here. Watch this, how they pull the guard. All right, this is a little action where they're going to pull the guard and he's going to get out in front of the quarterback over here on the edge. And then the line is going to work that way. Watch him work to this side. And as the quarterback starts to move here, now he's got a guard that's going to be out in front of him. So it's play pass, 7-man pro. He steps up in the pocket. You can see that his outlet immediately, they react to the outlet. They've taken that away. So this is going to be one where when Jake steps up in the pocket, it's either go, like cut it loose to that pin or needle route or lock route downfield, or take off. Now watch this. Right here, I think Jake takes his eyes down. He looks to the outlet, and then he feels the space of the sit route. And this is what he finds right here, is he finds the sit route. But as you can see this coverage here and here? There is a ton of space to the field right here. Had BYU ran a field post, those would be opportunities for shot plays. This would be something that you can, somebody up top needs to say, hey, they did this. They played a half coverage to the boundary. The quarter safety came into the box when we went in this personnel and play pass, and we can run this concept. Now, this was a really good completion by them, but the reason I put this on there is to kind of talk a little ball and to just show that when you bring that safety down in the box, because you're showing, look at this, you're showing 8 men in the box right here. You're showing 6 guys up front. The wide out is starting inside, and then the running back is there. You have 8 guys inside of here, so they're going to react. Then when he runs that wide in route, look how many guys it pulls right there. So you've taken that away from the pressure that they're bringing. So anyway, there's a lot of things happening in this concept that I like. It was a solid completion. Good little play by Jake right here to find him. Good job of making the catch. But you have opportunities when you go back and you see this saying, man, this is an opportunity to be here to take a shot downfield. All right, I like talking about touchdowns. BYU shifts, and they find this touchdown right here. Now, this is really interesting how this came about because of all the things that are happening here. It's great to see a touchdown, tie the game up. But let's talk about what they do. They shift in this formation. As you can see, look at the confusion here by Oklahoma. They're confused, all right? It's manned up right here. I believe it's a man scheme. They're trying to match numbers. You see him? He's trying to say, hey, we got to make sure we match numbers out here. They bring out one too many guys. Usually when that happens and it's 3 over 4, it's some type of inside run. BYU here, though, they have the player that would be the running back off on the little wing right here. So you have an isolated one-on-one. So I don't find it interesting at all that they choose to go to the one-on-one right here. There's really nobody that they're going to run the ball with unless it's a quarterback sneak. Now, when they run this player back in the box, watch how confused they are. This player's not sure what's going on. He takes himself out of the stack. This player runs himself back into the box. They actually are only left with one guy right here paying attention, and it is an easy block, completion. Now, this is tough, though, because the quarterback, you can't really see what all these guys are doing and how they're confused. My guess is right here, they think that they're doing something to double this guy. I'm not sure if they were anticipating, oh, hey, they like to split out Isaac, and they like to throw the jump ball to Isaac, and maybe this guy got confused thinking that's who it was. And when he split out like that, they think, hey, we're doubling him. That might have been something that they went in their game plan. As you can see, they don't have a number right now for the guy right here on the quick pass. So that would have been an option, but I know that's tough to see because right now as a quarterback, you're going to count bodies, and you're going to say, nope, I'm canceling this out. So I don't, to any degree, wonder why Jake didn't throw this out here. Now, this right here, you would think, oh, we're going to take the one-on-one. He almost runs out of his protection right here. He kind of steps towards this direction.
I'm not sure what the protection was. I'm not sure if potentially it was just a quarterback sneak that direction, and then Jake decides, hey, if I got the one-on-one, I can take it. There's something there that's telling him take the one-on-one. But he runs out of it towards the box, outside of the box, and we have a slant route. So it's really unique here. The one thing that it does, if he takes a step back and looks past, this player might back up because he's manning the running back, but he sees that the running back is blocking. He could sink right there and get in the way of this. Actually, by running just a little bit, watch how these guys react. It almost pulls them to him. Now, I don't think he did that on purpose. I don't think he's saying, man, you know what? I'm going to step outside of this right here. I'm going to bring those guys unblocked to me. I just think this was a little bit of backyard football. He's saying, I want the one-on-one. I bet he's wondering it might be crowded in here, so I'm going to take an extra step away from it. And he just moves to try to get vision. I think that's what he's probably doing. And as he finds it, he just makes a play. That right there is just backyard football making a play, finding a way to get in the end zone for a touchdown. All right, this is a big-time play in the game right here. It's 4th and 2. They run a little snag concept. He finds Isaac there for a big-time gain. There's a minute and a half left in the quarter in the half. BYU's down by 3. Let's talk about what's going on right here. So this is a full slide protection. And what they're doing is they're going to send the line this direction, and the running back is going to take the first guy off the end man on the line of scrimmage. And then what you do is you have the wing, fullback, or tight end, whatever personnel group you're in. And here it's a tight end. You slip him right out into the flat. So you have a flat route, you have a snag route, and then you have a corner route. So it's a snag concept. What they do is they go this flow protection. A lot of teams would call it flow because you have two, what makes it look like a lead blocker and a back, right? And then the line is going to slide the other direction. And what you're doing is you're accounting for every single gap, but you're sliding the line away from it. So the line slides away. Here comes the back. Now the rule of thumb for quarterbacks is if you get 2 off the edge, you'll have one that the running back can take and the other is free. So you're hot. So 2 off the edge, you're hot. The ball's got to go to the flat right now. But let's talk about the read. A lot of the times, this is kind of read flat to snag. And I've been around different places that read a little bit different. But for the most part, when you run this in short yardage, you are thinking flat route for a winner. And if they jump it, the snag route right behind it. In man coverage, if they man it up, you can do what's called alert the corner, where you alert the corner route. This is different because here the corner has his eyes, the cornerback has his eyes inside. So he's playing zone and he fills the flat route, so he jumps it. Right? They overrun the snag. So right here, they overrun the snag. You have 2 people on the flat. So the snag is there, but I can tell you this from standing in the pocket. At times when you fill these bodies, trying to see that snag at times can be difficult. I think what Jake felt was he felt the corner jump the flat and somebody run with it, so he feels the space that is behind it. And so I think his eyes went to the space that's behind it, and then that's how he found Isaac, because you can see, watch the ball. It almost goes right over the snag route, right over his head. And that might have been, like I said, because of the stuff in front of him. But this was great right here. He finds it. This is a big-time pickup on 4th down. Sometimes when you run those simple kind of like quick flat routes or quick slants or something and the defense steps up, you can find that guy on the second level. And that's exactly what happens right here. Jake finds Isaac on the second level for a big-time pickup here on 4th down. And this is the thing I love too. This dude right here. Watch how fired up he is, right? When you are in a position like this football team has been in, right, where they're just battling. They're trying to find wins. They're trying to sustain drives. They're just trying to get to a place where they're feeling good about scoring points, holding the opponent, and winning football games. When you make a play like this, in a game like this, versus an opponent like this, with the feelings that you've been dealing with day in and day out on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, this matters. And you can tell by that reaction right there. All right, here we go. 3rd and 10. Need to find a big one. They short motion down, and they're going to run everybody off. You got verticals, and then you got a high-low that's created right here with the in-cut and a shallow, and they find the in-cut right here for a big gain. So let's go through. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see this because of the way that the camera zooms in, but we can talk about the concept. Here what you're going to get is you're going to get these vertical through routes, and then you're going to get this deep in cut. And then from the tight end, you're going to get a shallow route. What that's doing is, as you can see, it's creating this high-low. Then you're going to have the back that's going to check down, and he's going to check down over here. So all it's creating is it's creating this high-low.
right? And all you're trying to do with these vertical routes is you're trying to sell what looks like verticals as if you're running all verticals with the shallow route. And then what you do is this guy's going to snap off that dig route. So really well executed play right here. As you can see, once the ball is thrown, you're going to see where people end up. Now, the shallow route settled because he read it as zone, right? One of the tricky things is see how close these guys are. You want to have a little bit better spacing because what you're trying to do is you're trying to create the space where that ball could be caught, where the shallow would be and where the back would be, and you're trying to create that triangle. All right, but nonetheless, this was a big-time open play right here. It would have been great to see him keep him up and not have to go to the ground right here. He had to slow him up just a little bit because, as you can see, all the space that he can run right there. But this is just, we're selling verticals. We're selling verticals. They're going to play on top of people. They're going to carry the seams. You can see the posture right here. Watch him turn, and he's going to carry the seam. Watch this right here. See him turn right there? He's going to carry the seam. This player is going to lose vision on the in cut. He's got his eyes on the quarterback, so he's not going to feel that player wrap behind the back of him. See this player right here with his eyes? He's looking to help number 3. So as number 3 runs vertically across the field, it's going to gather him as well. So you're basically just clearing out and having these guys carry, and then that in cut is coming underneath them. So it works out just the way you want it to work out. Well executed. If he can keep him up, like I said, he's still running, but still, this is good for BYU to get these gains on 3rd and 10. We've talked throughout the season of how difficult it's been for BYU on these 3rd and long yardages to pick them up, especially, again, when you're playing against the 14th ranked team in the country. Those usually don't happen easily. BYU is able to make it happen and pick up a first down right here. I chose this clip because when you're able to successfully run your quarterback and get lead blockers out in front of him and pick up yards, this is what it does to the defense right here. And what's happening is you can see the motion. This is the motion player that comes across, and he's going to slip to try to get out in front. We're going to try to get lead blockers out in front in case the quarterback pulls this. So what the quarterback's doing is the quarterback is reading this player right there. All right? And what he's doing is if he squeezes the space, the quarterback's going to pull and keep it, and we have these 2 players out in front of him. If he widens, this player right here widens, stays where he's at, or comes upfield, then it's a give. But watch how it influences these other players. Watch right here. Because they can feel these players out in front, knowing it could be a pull for the quarterback. Watch how slow those 2 players, I'm going to put green dots on them. Watch how slow those 2 players are to react. Because they're slow to react and the O-line has washed these guys down, there is a space right here, an alley and a gap that's created. Because watch this. This player that's up here, he can't just go and dive inside, right? He has to make sure that if the quarterback is to keep it, he can take on these blockers. That's his responsibility. And he's going to try to force that quarterback back inside. But these guys, they have to also, same time, they feel those blockers out in front of him. They have to confirm that the quarterback doesn't have it before they can react. They can't lose leverage, meaning they can't let these guys out leverage them to where it's easy down blocks and the quarterback keeps it and get outside. So what they do, watch how slow they are to respond, and then watch us beat them with speed. All right? Right there. That's why that wins. They beat him with speed. Now, 7 right here gets kind of tied back inside. We can't get a block on him because of that, and he gets over here and makes the tackle. But that's all right. That's football. That happens. The big key is, look at these. Those 2 players don't actually make the tackle. Here and here. They don't actually make the tackle. Speed wins that, and we get all the way out here to the 45-yard line. So it's because of these successful quarterback designed runs that are reads right here, and the design is that if he pulls it, now he's got these blockers out in front of him. They have to honor that. And because they have to honor that, they're then slow to react on just a simple inside running play. All right, I know this is going to be hard to watch. Tie ball game, 1st and goal on the 3. And this is what happens. I'm not even going to watch him run it all the way back. Just want to talk about kind of what I see happening right here. So what this play is obviously it's probably been talked about a ton. This is an inside running play, right? And it's the quarterback's decision. Do I give the run or do I have an opportunity to throw something out here? Now, what I think is when this player started walking into the box, the reason why I think Jake threw this is because I think he thought, holy cow, are they going to leave him uncovered? Are they messing up? And am I going to be able to just throw this ball almost to an uncovered receiver? I think that's what brought his attention there. Now, right here, right as the ball is snapped, you can see that this player recovers. And he's starting to realize, wait, I can't add in there. I got to go over here because they got a slot receiver. In that moment, that ball just needs to be given right there. Now, when he pulls it and he realizes this is not the look for why I pulled it, I'm not getting what I wanted or what I thought I was going to get. What you do is you follow the running back. The same hole that the running back runs is going to run through. You just run and get what you can get. Okay? I think that things were going pretty good. We're having a really successful drive. It's first down. I think there was some excitement thinking, oh my gosh, they just messed up. I'm going to throw a touchdown. We're balling. And I think in that moment right there, that excitement is what got him throwing it. And then that's what led to that. The tough part is they aren't going to back up and play soft right here. They're going to squat on the goal line, always. They got help back here because of the back line of the end zone. This player's pressed out here. He's going to say, I'm just going to react on anything in front of me. If you try to throw something over my head, I got an extra defender. I got help back there. And it's not going to, the ball can't travel that far. So right here, if I was, coaching Jake, I'd say, hey, look, I get it. You thought that the guy was going to be uncovered. All of a sudden, you pull it and he isn't. It's an RPO read. Happens all the time. Sometimes you pull a ball because you think you're going to get something. It's not there. You made the wrong read. Now, don't make the wrong read. Don't try to make it a good play when you know it's not the look that we want. So just get back to the line of scrimmage at least. Just go turn around, follow the running back, get what we can get, right? That would be the thing to do. So I know this was tough because this just felt like, oh my gosh, could have been us getting 7 on this drive. It felt like for sure they were going to get it, and now the other team in a blink of an eye gets 7. I know it's tough, but those are the things that, a lot of the times it's these tough lessons as a quarterback you learn the most from. All right, here we go, another fourth down. This is a big play, big pickup. They short motion down. You're going to see the sprint out. And this is a concept that you've seen before in this game. You've seen BYU use. It's a snag concept. And he comes and he finds the receiver inside. So let's back it up and take a look on what exactly it is. Sprint out. So the quarterback's going to sprint out of it. You're going to see the running back fill to the edge. Line's going to work the opposite way. We've talked about this before. Why would the line work opposite? It's because what they're doing is to these gap sound defenses, when the offensive line steps one direction, the D linemen, they got to honor their gaps in terms of control. And so they're going to step with them. Then you get to get the running back off the edge to seal it. Anybody trying to get outside of him, he can pin them down. If you get 2 off that edge, the quarterback can still work that way. And then obviously you're going to be hot. You can only block one of them. Somebody should be open quick. But in this case right here, it's real simple. They're going to get the quarterback out on the edge. There's nobody even threatening the edge for the running back. And what the snag concept is, it's a flat, it's the snag, and then you have a corner out. All right. Now, this is what we threw the fourth down on to Isaac Rex, but it wasn't a sprint out. It was just a flow pass where it's a full line slide. You have that wing tight end out into the flat, and the running back is coming off the edge, and you're giving a little flash fake, and you're reading flat first. Well, it's the same thing here. He's going to read the flat first. Look how many guys for Oklahoma run with the flat. You have all of these guys running with the flat, and what happens is right here, that snag route just kind of works right past him and settles. And as he's settling, so you can see right here, Jake, he about throws it, then he starts to take his eyes, and he realizes they overran the snag. There it is. Now, the part I really like on Jake right here is you see him break his hands right there? I think for a moment, he was about to throw the flat route because he thought, a natural little pick is happening right there by the snag. You see that right there? The snag guy settles, and the DB kind of bumps into him. I think Jake broke his hands right here, and he about threw it. Then he realized, man, I feel all this white shirt color coming this way. Cody's going to be open. And I love how quick the ball gets out right there. He takes a step, breaks his hands, then he goes, there it is. Whoop. And he just slips it past him with a guy in his face. Okay, I like that a lot. This was a big play. And then Cody does a great job of getting some yak right here, some yards after the catch, making people miss, getting down inside the 10-yard line. Another big play on fourth down for BYU. All right, I like going over the touchdowns. This is a touchdown here for Jake. You can see he pulls it. It's the quarterback keep here off the edge with 2 blockers out in front of him, and he battles his way to the end zone. Since he's been playing these last couple weeks, you see many more of these where what it is they're going to have that short motion. This is what they run a lot of their counters off of. Their inside zones. They go inside zone, and he'll come across, and he'll be a sifter. He'll take the end-man line of scrimmage. But what you have here is you have one guy that's going to turn up. See that little hesitation that he does? Watch right here. He's going to come like he's going to be the sifter. He's going to hesitate, and then he's going to wrap around that guy, and he's going to bluff that guy and lose him. When he bluffs him and loses him, now the quarterback has to beat him. That's the player that they're reading. It looks like it's going to be a pure give and that he's going to come and make the block. But what he does is when he gets here and that player jumps inside of him, now it's a for sure QB keep. So the quarterback keeps it. That player is bluffed. Jake has to beat that player with speed. And then now you can see he's going to be there. Isaac's going to come around and be there. And you got 2 for 2. This is exactly what you want. We got a block here. He's got his arms around him a little bit. We might have got away with a little bit of something right there. But heck, that happens a lot. And then now you just get Seal there. He's going to block him out. And Jake finds his way to the end zone. Look at him run through some tackles, right? This is great to see. He can smell the end zone and he wants to get there. And touchdown for BYU. I love highlighting touchdowns, especially when it's good blocking like that. That's a play that they've utilized a lot since Jake has been in at quarterback. It's also set up some other things, but right here, it pays off and they're able to get in the end zone. All right, here BYU is going to take a sack. It's a pass attempt here, and it's in empty, right? So they got 5 guys out on routes, and you can see that what Oklahoma's doing here is they're bringing pressure. They're bringing 5, and they're dropping 1 out. So what this looks like is you got a 5 up. You got 5 up. A lot of the time what that does is the offensive line is then going to make a 5-0 call. And what that means is 5 offensive linemen for the 5 guys that they have up. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when this player adds on, he's going to come in unblocked. So a lot of the times what defenses will do is they'll say, hey, we'll go 5 up. We'll talk them into making a 5-0 call. When we bring this guy, it's going to screw them up. We'll drop him into space. One thing of why you as a quarterback need to know that somebody's going to drop. They cannot play this coverage. You have 2 BYU guys. You have 1 Oklahoma defender over here. They are not going to be able to play 1 over 2. Somebody has to get there. Either this linebacker has to run or they have to drop somebody. So this is where a quarterback a lot of the time then would make a call that would basically say, look, I know that this player is going to drop. He has to drop. So what we're going to do is we're going to make you'd use some type of L word. Larry, Lou, Lisa, something, or L. And all that means is whatever their call is that they have set up is that it's 5 for 5 now going the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can block those 5, okay? And so what happens here on this play, what I think is it looks like Cody doesn't realize that they dropped somebody, all right? I don't know if it's fade out, which means I don't know if it's a set in stone fade out, because up to the top you got a stick, a hitch, and an inside fade. Now, against man coverage, a lot of the times you see the BYU quarterbacks take this inside fade. Now the safety's cheating that way, and you feel all this space over here. Now, I'm not sure if this was a set-in-stone out route or if it was a choice route that he could have broke in. I don't know those things. But right here, when that zone defender drops underneath an out route, that you can't take it. So really, because he started his eyes to this side of the field, he can't take it. Now, if it was a choice route, as you come off the ball, when you know you have nobody over you, you have to expect that somebody is going to drop from inside out. So right there, if you saw his helmet turn a little bit and he was basically saying, I'm finding out if somebody's dropping and I'm going to confirm it. I see that guy drop. Now I can put my foot in the ground and run right inside. Could that have happened if it was a choice route? Yes. Again, I don't know because there's no defender over the top of him and us getting to see him go what and give a move and break out. It just looks like he thinks I might be uncovered. Now, I think he's got good spatial awareness. He might feel that guy, which makes me think this is just straight up fade out. And then this is on the part of the quarterback of him not recognizing until now, oh shoot, I have a dropper. The issue is we don't have it blocked up correctly. Now, one thing that I'm trying to look at is I don't know if they went 5-0 call. It's hard for me to tell right here. The guard does put his eyes back in. He sets for width and then he steps there. So I don't know if they're trying to work their way back. The one guy that doesn't work his way all the way back is the center. What would need to happen right there is the center steps towards that guy and feels like he can pass him off. The guard would need to step down because he realizes I don't have anybody. So as the guard steps back and then he realizes the end dropped and the tackle's taking him, he would need to step down to let the center know you can now step back. Because the whole goal of this is as this player hits from depth, that depth gives us time to bounce people back a player. That would be the only thing. If they walked him up and brought him, that would be much tougher. But because he's coming from depth, you at least have a little bit of a chance. And the fact that he went all the way around the outside gives you a little bit more time. But this is just unfortunate because it's a tie ball game. It's 3rd and 4. BYU has done a really good job during the day of picking these up. It's just the fact of it seems like there's a lot of space. He's not wrong for wanting to go to that side. And then right there, once you feel that guy drop out, you have to know I either got to try to make a play happen or bring my eyes somewhere else. The hard part is you're taught a lot of the times, do not start to one side of the field on a fade out concept and then try to come back late to a side of the field that would have 2 quick game concepts in it. That would be like a no-no. You just don't do that. So the only option would be for him to realize I have space to run here. That would be the only thing. They drop out, I'm now going to run into that space to then try to put somebody in a bind. And the person that would be in the bind would be him. As the quarterback runs into this space, this player now has to make a decision. He either has to attack the quarterback, which now gives us a chance to throw the out route, or he sinks, which gives the quarterback a chance to attack the first down marker. So these are the plays for this game. It was a tough game for BYU. They played so well throughout so much of it. I know that play on the goal line was a heartbreaker, but it was good to see BYU play so well, come so close. I know those ones hurt the most, but it does give hope for this upcoming week against Oklahoma State.